At the beginning of 2021, 32% of Canadian employees aged 15 to 69 worked most of their hours from home, compared with only 4% in 2016. If you were or are working from home, you should know how to claim working from home employment expenses. This video is for salary employees want to use detailed method. I will have separate video for contractors and for whoever wants to use flat rate. Canadian tax tips. DIY tax. All you should know. On November 30, 2020, the CRA announced working from home employment expenses credit allows eligible people to claim workspace in home expenses and office supplies. Flat rate is easy, $2 per day, maximum $400 for year 2020. Unless multiple people work from home in the same space, you will find, in most cases, detailed method will get you more benefit. That's why you should fully understand how it works. The working from home expense goes to line 22900. It is used to reduce your taxable income and then reduce your tax. It is a tax deduction, not a credit. It can only reduce your tax liability, but will not result in a refund. And the dollar amount you get depends on your marginal tax bracket. For example, for $400 expenses, if you pay 15% federal tax and 10% provincial tax, you will get maximum $100 back. If you are in the highest tax bracket, say you make more than $250,000 in Nova Scotia, you will get $216 back because your combined marginal tax rate is 54%. I worked from home in 2020. Do I automatically qualify for detailed method? The answer is no. First, you have to at least worked more than 50% of the time at home for 1 month or more, plus any period of at least 4 consecutive weeks working from home more than 50% of the time. In this example, September 5th to September 9th is not qualified. Only 5 days in the whole month won't meet the 50% requirement. Second, you need your employer to fill out T2200S, Declaration of Conditions of Employment for Working at Home Due to COVID-19. Don't worry too much. This form is super simple. You don't need to get it from HR department. Your direct supervisor can fill it out for you. I will show you in the next slide. Third, claims must be supported by receipts. You must be able to prove that you paid for it. Look, this is how T2200S looks like. Part A, your name and address. Part B, CRA just wants to know that you did work from home and your employer did not reimburse any of your home office expenses without reporting it on your T4. This is because employees can only claim amounts for which they were reimbursed if they were included in income. That's all. Your employer does not need to fill out any details, just 3 check marks, signature, and date. Last section is your information, including SIN number, date, and address. I believe most of employers will cooperate when you request it if you did work from home. What expenses are qualified? There are 2 types of expenses: home expenses and office supplies. Home expenses include Rent paid for a house or apartment where you live. Utilities such as electricity, water, heat, or the utilities portion of your condo fee. Home internet access fees, but not including connection fees or the portion of fees related to the lease of a modem or router. Maintenance, only minor repairs, cleaning supplies, light bulbs, pens. Please pay attention. As salary employee, you cannot claim property taxes and home insurance, major repairs or renovations that are capital in nature. Homeowners cannot claim any equivalent expenses, for example, mortgage interest or the rental value of their home. The monthly bill for a landline telephone is not considered to be a utility. Only the separate long-distance surcharge can be claimed as a supply. You can claim the full amount of supplies purchased during period working from home. Only items below are allowed. This is a full list from CRA. Envelopes, folders, highlighters, ink cartridges, notebooks, paper clips, or binder lips, pens or pencils, printer paper, specialty paper, stamps or postage, stationery items, sticky notes, toner. You can claim employment use of a basic cell phone service plan as long as you reasonably split the personal use portion and work-related portion. Long-distance calls for employment purposes on your landline. You cannot claim anything that can last long or, in another word, capital in nature. I have a full list from CRA for the ineligible expenses in the next slide. You can see pretty much anything related to fax machine, computer, laptop, tablet, printer is not allowed. Electronic stuff such as a calculator, TV are not allowed either. How to calculate it? First, if you receive any reimbursement that is not on your T4, you have to deduct it. Second, you need to understand you cannot claim the full amount of your home expenses. You need to prorate the square footage of the space used for employment purposes by the total square footage of the home. For example, 200 square foot in a 1,250 square foot home is 16%. If the workspace is not used exclusively for employment use, you need to further prorate by the percentage of the time the space is used for employment as opposed to personal use. For example, you work 40 hours per week. The full week has 168 hours. 40 divided by 168 times 16% equals to 3.81%. So you'd better find a dedicated place in your home and set it up as your home office. There are some exceptions. You can claim the full amount of the maintenance cost for your designated workspace only. For example, replacing a switch in your office room. Third, you can claim the full amount of the allowable office supplies. Let's go over an example. For the period of April the 1st to December 31st. Rental for 9 months is 15,000. Utilities 2,880. Maintenance for the whole house 180. Home internet 720. Total qualified home expenses are $18,780 times 16% equals to $3,005. Office supplies, $200. Replace switch, $10. Long distance landline surcharge, $10. Business use cell phone plan, $270. Total office supplies, $490. So the total work from home expenses is $3,495 if you have a dedicated place at home. If not, it is only $1,206. Look, the difference is $2,569 in the expense amount. If you make more than $50,000 and your marginal tax rate is 30.5%, that's $783.63 in real money. I found a great way to make sure you are 100% correct. A CRA web page allows you to key in your expenses and calculate your total eligible expenses for you. I have the link on the video for you. Or go to Google. Search for CRA work from home expenses. This is the one. Calculate your expenses, home office expenses from employees. You can use it yourself and print out a copy for your record in case CRA sends you an audit request. I use the numbers in our example. Select home expenses you paid. Rent did not move. Designated areas. Square foot 200, 1250 from April 1st, 2020 and at December 31st, 2020. Total rent, $15,000. Utilities, $3,600. No other expenses. Maintenance cost, $180 for the whole house, $10 for the office room. Total supplies is $200. Expense claimed for employment purposes is a long-distance call and prorated cell phone bill, $280. Salary, $50K. Union due, $500. RPP deduction, $2,000. This section is to make sure you can claim the expenses. As I said earlier, the employment expenses is to reduce your income and reduce your tax liability, not to create tax refund. If you did not make enough, you cannot claim more than what you made. Then just click on calculate your expense, bang on $3,495, exactly the same as our calculation. When using tax software, check Claim Work from Home Expenses and Detailed Method. After entering all the expenses, double-check on line 22900. In our example, we have $3,495 in this line, and the $3,495 is deducted from the net income on line 23600. Tip number 1. Use a dedicated area. Tip number 2. Let the higher income one claim the expense if a couple shares the home office. We did not cover this yet, and this is new according to CRA. If a couple shares the home office, CRA allows some flexibility in splitting the eligible workspace in the home expenses. But any expenses are claimed as a deduction can only be used once. Say John and Mary share the home office. John makes $120,000 and Mary makes $30,000. Technically speaking, they can split the $3,500 expenses as they want. 50-50, 70-30, 40-60, no problem. However, John is in higher tax bracket, 36% in Alberta, and Mary's marginal tax rate is only 25%. If John claims the full amount, they will get $1,260 back. If Mary claims all, they will only get $875. If go 50-50, it is $1,067.50. Oh, this is a long video. Hope you remember all the rules and tips. If you like my video, please give me a thumb up and subscribe my channel. Thank you.